One of my favourite games growing up was PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, and it's gone. It is now officially gone. They have renamed to eFOOTBALL, and this video is going to be all about the new game that's releasing later this year. Free to play with added DLC and in-game microtransactions and things like that. Let's take a look at it, shall we? From PES to eFOOTBALL, this is what they've had to say. It all began with a determination to create a revolutionary football experience. Our ambition was to recreate the perfect football environment from the grass on the pitch to the players' movement, all the way to the crowds in the stadium. To this end, we've decided to create a new football engine, which I believe is using Unreal Engine 4, which is quite exciting actually, with revamped animation system and game controls. The final result was even more impressive than we had originally conceived. We had gone beyond the border of PES into a new realm of virtual football. It sounds exciting, doesn't it? To signal this new era, we have decided to part ways with our beloved PES brand and rename it eFOOTBALL. Oh man, I have some strong feelings about this. Growing up as a kid, this was the game I was most excited. I would literally run home from school after finishing double PE on a Friday night, knowing that I would get home and play PES all evening. I remember so many of the old titles that I would play to death completely. It would be all I would play all evening long. I loved the old PES games. I remember the first PES game that brought in breath. You could see players' breath during the winter, and my mind was blown. It was so realistic, and it's gone. The whole PES brand is now a thing of the past, and we now have eFOOTBALL. Now we hope that you can enjoy this brand new football experience that eFOOTBALL has to offer. So, as I mentioned before, it is free to play, and it's going to be cross-platform as well. So, free to play means, of course, you'll be able to download the game on any console of your choice and play. Absolutely free, no strings attached. And of course, cross-play means that, well, eventually they're going to be adding support in the future that you'll be able to play against other people on any console. So if you're playing on PlayStation 5, you can have a match against someone on Xbox One. I think at first they are focusing on console versus console, which will be PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X versus Xbox One, and then after that they will merge those two so you can play PlayStation versus Xbox, and they will throw PC or Steam into that as well. And then eventually they're going to open up mobile crossplay as well, which is quite incredible actually. They've mentioned new gen here as well. You can enjoy cutting edge graphics and incomparable immersion on new gen consoles such as PS5, Xbox Series X, and then they've got a list of supported devices. Before we look at some gameplay and look at what they've actually shown, let's have a look at the roadmap. So early autumn, in the coming weeks, the all-new game engine rollout and local matches using renowned clubs. So we've got Barcelona, Bayern, Juventus, United, Arsenal, and they are all licensed in the game. Of course, in FIFA, we don't have Juventus, so that's a big one for them. And then after that, we have cross-generation matches. This is what I was talking about just a second ago. PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4, and the new Xbox versus Xbox One. And then going into autumn, online matches will be opened. They haven't got a name for it. And team building mode. They don't have a name for that. That's basically going to be their Ultimate Team equivalent, isn't it? Where you're going to be able to collect players, build a team, and buy packs, I'm presuming. Or what do they call it in PES? They have balls, don't they? They have the randomly scrolling balls on screen, and you select it, and then you get a player. Cross-platform matches, console and PC will come after that, so you'll be able to play on PlayStation and play against people on Steam, on Xbox, and vice versa. And then, this is the one that I'm not so keen on, the match pass system. One thing that's drove me mad over the years is free-to-play games and having these stupid battle passes. You see it in Warzone with their, what do they call it? The Warzone pass. I don't even know. We saw it with Fortnite. They were the main culprits, I think, to bring in a battle pass system where you buy the battle pass and you unlock cosmetic items as you play. And I should mention, though, I like this about it. If you finish the pass, typically you get your money back. but they expect you then to reinvest that into the next Battle Pass. And some games are releasing these every month. It's pretty crazy. So although you're accessing the game for free, you are effectively paying to get the most out of it, cosmetically at least. What I want to make sure is, though, that this match pass system isn't pay to win. Imagine if they put in players that you can earn, that you can't earn unless you've bought the pass. Hopefully, that's not a thing, but we'll talk about the match pass system in a little bit. Going into winter, we're going to have the esports tournaments kick off. So eFootball, esports, they're going to be going down that direction for sure. And then we're going to get cross-platform matches. So we're going to get console versus PC versus mobile, which is interesting. I don't know how you're going to be playing on mobile against someone on PlayStation. That you're using a controller versus using a phone. Not sure that's very fair, so maybe they'll limit it in some way. I don't know, but they will be adding mobile controller support later on down the line after that. So that would then obviously eradicate that disadvantage if you have a controller that works with your phone. So this is the roadmap that they've released so far. Of course, they've got Messi as the cover star. They've got Neymar as well, recently involved. But the biggest thing here, it's behind my camera. If I just hide it really quick, you can see free to play. That's what they want you to see. It's free to play. And do you know what? I've got nothing against free to play. And this is the first major football game, maybe even major sports game in general, to go down this route and open it up for anyone to play. But you have to remember, they will be making their revenue and generating money in other ways. Hopefully, it stays cosmetic only. Let's take a look at the trailer they've released. We are looking at real pictures here of stadiums. This is not in-game pictures or in-game graphics, of course. They will show us some of that in just a second. But you're seeing Lionel Messi walking out from the tunnel at the moment. Look at this. The stadiums look incredible. Old Trafford with the sprinklers, all the stadiums with the sprinklers, and now we're back to pictures of players. It's definitely Lionel Messi. You can just tell by the ear shape, can't you? But let's see some actual gameplay, shall we? Here we go. The pitch is ours. eFootball. I don't like the name. I'm sorry. I just don't. PES means something to me because I grew up with it, and I guess I just don't like change. To a lot of people, they won't be bothered. It's just eFootball, I guess. But here we go. Some actual gameplay. We've got Lionel Messi running around with the ball. We've got behind the scenes Old Trafford, Juventus, some pre-match graphics here, some cutscenes of players in and around the changing rooms. Who is that guy for Juventus? There was a guy's face there I didn't recognise at all. It looked fake, if you ask me. And here's some actual gameplay. Oh, dear. Ooh, I'm not sure that looked that great, to be honest. It looked very flat to me. I mean, is it me or is his body type not quite right here? He looks a little bit off to me. The face looks great. I guess that's a good thing. Just look at the grass. I don't think the grass looks very good. It's just flat. It's like a flat image of grass. I can tell they've worked on animations, though. You can see here Iniesta dribbling around a player. That looks pretty good. Again, just looking at some of the animations here, we've got PK launching into a tackle. It looks good. The animations are nice and smooth. There is definitely an improvement there. And now we get to look at Neymar breaking ankles. Is it me, or does that look photorealistic? Neymar looks incredible in this game. But how far away is that defender from him? He's leaving a lot of space, isn't he? It's going to be very easy to get past. And look at the grass again. I mean, it's flat. There's no actual grass sticking up. Am I going mental? It looks way better here with the footage with Ansu Fati, I think that is. And here we go. Cross-platform. This is an amazing thing that they're doing. I think that this is the future of gaming, and I'm very surprised it's taking this long to get it into a football game. But now we're finally getting it, at least in PES. Jeez, Rashford looks absolutely incredible as well. Hate the new kit, though. That Manchester United kit, not feeling it. It is funny, some players look incredible, but then look at Bonucci there. It doesn't look human. It looks like a robot. Oh, it's so strange. But here we go, Neymar and Messi, I miss them playing together. The other thing we haven't mentioned as well, what happens with Master League? The career mode, game mode. Well, according to sources, that will be coming at a later date, and it will be a paid DLC. So effectively, you can pick and choose what parts of the game you want to buy. There is going to be some mixed responses to that, you know, and I don't think that's necessarily fair. In the past, if you wanted to play Master League and only Master League, you had to buy the game. Well, now, if you only want Master League, it might be they release it for £12.99 on Steam or £15 on PlayStation or something like that. So you're still getting the game mode that you want to play. You have the free-to-play version of eFootball, and you get it for a cheaper deal. I don't know how much they're going to release it for. That will be very interesting, but something to look out for. As far as I can tell, though, Master League will not be coming out at the same time as eFootball launches. So there might be a bit of time in between. We'll soon find out. So to conclude, what are my feelings towards eFootball and how PES has been destroyed by Konami? Well, I'm all for it if the game's better, if the game is more fun. Free to play is not a bad thing. In some titles, in some genres, it doesn't work. But in a game like this, where you get seasonal updates, where it's just new kits, a few new signings here and there, we don't need to have £70 to £80 releases every single year. For example, other football games, other sports games, they're very expensive when the game comes out, and all you're getting is a fresh lick of paint in some ways, and maybe a couple of tuned features and things like that. I think free-to-play might be the future of sports games in general, where they have a seasonal update. Now, I'm not a fan of microtransactions in games. As you know, I'm not a fan of buying packs on Ultimate Team and gambling money to get better players. That, no doubt, will be in eFootball. They will have an ability to buy in-game currency and then to gamble it on packs or balls, whatever they're going to call them. And I don't really like that. And there's no doubt in my mind that this pass as well. There will be, at rank 50, legendary Ronaldinho. If you get to level 50 and maybe at level 75 you get 10 packs to open. I don't really like that. But if it means the game is free to play and they're adding in things that are mainly cosmetic, I think I'm okay with it. The problem is when you give too much to those who are paying, because then you're creating an unfair, unbalanced platform for competition. It's not right, but they can tune it. They can get it right. Those who pay should get more out of the game. That's obvious, right? If you're playing for free, you're not going to get the maximum out of the game. I understand it. I understand it's still a business, but when it comes to a competitive football game, which they're marketing this to be, it's literally called eFootball, then I'm very cautious and very uneasy of the thought of them making this pay to win. So we'll see when we get more information. As I said earlier, I'm finding it very difficult to process the fact that PES is gone. Growing up, PES was my go-to game. I played PES before I played FIFA, and there's no doubt in my mind that FIFA, for me, is the better game. It's the better and bigger franchise, and I've enjoyed FIFA way more over the last 10 years than I've enjoyed PES, by miles. I will absolutely give this game a go, and of course, everyone's going to be comparing it to FIFA, the only other real competition in the market. And this changes things massively. Will EA see this and maybe go down a free-to-play route? No, I very much doubt it. They get a lot of money through just selling the game itself, and they make an obscene amount of money on microtransactions, FIFA points, and things like that. So I think what we're seeing here is almost PES or Konami admitting defeat. They cannot compete with FIFA. They do not sell enough units. They are better off getting a higher player count by making it free to play and just hoping that the whales, the guys that spend loads of money, and girls that spend loads of money on microtransactions and trying to generate revenue that way. And you know what? You've got to respect their decision. It's a business decision. It would have been very difficult for them to decide to do this. Hopefully the game is good. Hopefully it pays off for them and Konami make a better football game. And there's a better rivalry and more of a competition for EA, who for sure don't have any competition. They can pretty much release the most broken game and people still buy it. People still lap it up and enjoy it. And yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But that is eFootball, guys. PES is no more. Tomorrow, the Portsmouth career mode will return. I really wanted to jump on this today because it's quite big news. PES is now eFootball, and we will be able to get our hands on it in a not too distant future.